YouTube, what's up? The Soldier Barber Life here. Today I'm going to be doing the opposite hand challenge, which is a challenge that's going around on YouTube where you have to cut hair using your non-dominant hand. I am left-handed, so I will be doing this entire cut from start to finish with my right hand. Now I am a little bit ambidextrous. I do write with my right hand, but my dominant hand is my left hand, so let's see how this goes. So starting this cut off, I am doing a medium skin undercut that I will be doing on my son here. And like I say, I am using my right hand the whole time. And I am starting off just setting the bald guideline in using my balding clippers. And so far, this part doesn't seem too difficult, but it is pretty slow, a pretty slow process not using your dominant hand. You can't go as fast as you usually would. You have to take your time, and it really makes me feel like back to my beginning barber days. So this should be definitely a little bit of a challenge, so let's see how this goes. So my next step is I am grabbing my clipper and I'm setting in my first guideline that I have here. This is the no guard lever open, going up about a little less than an inch and setting that first guideline in. Like I say, it is a little bit more challenging, just the angles and the speed that you are used to using. You definitely have to accommodate that and get used to not using your dominant hand. So at this point, you can definitely start feeling the strain and the fatigue of cutting with your non-dominant hand. It is a little bit more challenging. Your dominant hand is you're more used to using it, so it can handle a lot more. It has a lot more of that muscle memory, whereas your non-dominant hand, it's just awkward altogether overall just using it. So I definitely feel like I might hit muscle failure before I get done with this and have to switch up some of my techniques. So let's see how this goes. So my next step in this fade is slapping on a guard, and I'll be using my half guard, my 1 guard, and my 1.5 guard to fade the rest of this up until the top to make it a faded undercut. And I will go ahead and fast forward through some of these parts to where I'm fading. Just to kind of speed up this video. At this point, my hand and my arm really started hurting, so I started using different fading techniques, and I started holding the clipper in unconventional ways that I usually wouldn't, just because it was getting to that point where things were getting a little bit more challenging. In this next part, I just grabbed my other clipper, and that's where I'm going to start doing some detail work. Just kind of clean up this fade as much as I can, try to knock out some of these dark spots, and try to make this as best of a cut as I can with what I was dealing with. So now I am moving on to what I feel is the most difficult part of this challenge, is doing a lineup with your opposite hand. You know, when you do a lineup, it's really about having precision and control over that tool, and I feel like a lot of that goes away when you are using your non-dominant hand. So this is definitely something that I took my time with, because I didn't want to mess this up and ruin the whole haircut by not getting this part right. So the next thing I'm going to do is add some enhancements to the hairline, and this wasn't as challenging because holding the enhancement gun in my right hand didn't seem too bad, because I do write with my right hand, so I have a little bit more control in that area. So this really wasn't as hard as doing some of the other things in this haircut using my non-dominant hand. So this next part had me the most nervous, and I really tried to take my time and be as meticulous as I could with it, because grabbing the straight razor, one wrong mistake and you could completely slice your client up, and that's the last thing I would want to do for my son. So like I say, I was really taking my time, and just having that precision and that control just seemed like it wasn't really there. I felt like I was a beginner barber again, like learning how to do all these steps all over again. So this is the finished cut. It turned out pretty good in my opinion. Not my best work, but it did turn out better than I thought it would. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, drop a like. I'm going to be getting a lot more consistent, dropping out a lot more videos on YouTube, and I'd appreciate it if you grow with me on this journey. Thank you for watching. And yeah, he didn't think he was going to leave the chair without getting a little bit of this spice ball. Spice them up. Spicy. Spice them everywhere. All over. All on the head. Yeah, son, you're going to get all that spice ball.